Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the faculty and students from the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. We are truly delighted to host you here today at GCCI. So, to begin with, I request our director, Mr. Balikar, to please welcome Dr. Rai with a flower. Also, I request Ms. Pallavi to welcome Mr. Bikas, our speaker for today. Thank you. We know that IIFT is one of India's premier B schools, established in 1962 under Ministry of Commerce and Industry and are deemed to be university since 2002. With its AACSB accreditation and strong focus on international trade and business, IIFT has played a significant role in shaping professionals for India's external trade sector. Today's session is designed to give you insights into Goa's role in trade, as well as practical exposure to international business documentation and procedures. So I now welcome you all, and I invite our director, Mr. Kiran Balikar, who will deliver the welcome address and give us an overview of GCCI.
Thank you, Ambika. Good evening, friends. On behalf of Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, it gives me great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Siddharth Shankar Rai, Mr. Bikas Singh, Assistant Manager Logistics from Syntagon Technology India Private Limited, and the bright group of 44 students from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, New Delhi. IIFT, as Ambika said, is one of the India's premier institutions for international business, education and research. And GCCI feels privileged to host you today. Since its inception, IIFT has played a pioneering role in preparing professionals for India's external trade sector, and your presence here reflects that continuing commitment to practical exposure and learning. Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry was established in the year 1908, and it is the apex body representing trade, commerce and industry in Goa. Over the decades, GCCI has acted as a vital link between government, industry and business, and has worked tirelessly for the promotion of trade and industry in the state. Your visit today is particularly meaningful. Goa, with its port facilities and trade linkages, has historically been a gateway for commerce. Through this interaction, we hope you will gain deeper insights into the practical aspects of documentation, trade facilitation, and the challenges and opportunities of doing business in Goa. GCCI was established in the year 1908 to promote trade, commerce, and industry in Goa. GCCI, since day one, is successful in influencing the government in shaping Goa's economic, trade, and social policies, which are of benefit to the trade and industry and ultimately to the state of Goa. GCCI, acknowledged as the Knowledge Chamber of Goa, has emerged as a forceful, proactive, effective and forward-looking institution, playing its role as a catalyst between government and industry. GCCI renders its services to over 600 members, which include corporate houses, MSMEs, traders, professionals and associations representing various sectors. GCCI has managing committee comprising of president, 2 vice presidents, honorary secretary, honorary treasurer, and members. Managing committee conducts meetings every month and deliberates on various issues concerned with all its stakeholders. In addition to this, GCCI is having 15 subcommittees constituted of experts and professionals with rich experience in the related field covering vital sectors of the economy like agriculture and food processing, infrastructure, education, health and welfare, industry, IR and HR, IT and startup, logistics, mining, real estate, retail trade, taxation, tourism and women's wing. GCCI from time to time comes out with reports, papers, etc. addressing the various issues and offering advice. The Chamber also organizes meetings, conferences, workshops, seminars, and talks by the eminent personalities. It also conducts meetings with various consulates, foreign delegates, etc. The Chamber also submits representations, memorandum concerning Goan trade and industry to the authorities, conducts meetings with the government authorities, and discusses and deliberates on the various issues. The Chamber strongly believes in nurturing young talent and encouraging future leaders like yourself to engage with the real world business processes. We are confident that this exposure, today's visit to MPA and customs, combined with your rigorous classroom learning at IIFT, will further enrich your understanding of international trade. We are happy to facilitate this visit and look forward to continued engagement with IIFT in future. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you to GCCI. We wish you a fruitful and enriching experience during your stay in Goa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Balikar. Next, I request our director, Ms. Pallavi Arondekar, to address the gathering. She will share with us the fascinating history of Goa's trade over the centuries, as well as highlight some growth of other key economic sectors. So before she begins, since we have a presentation, I request the dignitaries could join us in the first row.
So thanks, Ambika, and welcome once again from my end. You all have been to Goa now how many days? 3 days? 2 days. And how has it been? Very good. So you all are looking forward to some visits also, some touristy site visiting also, right? Yeah. I think that's the beauty about Goa, that you can study, you can explore, you can do so many things and also enjoy. So best wishes for all that. I'll just take you through a very brief history of, interesting history of Goa and how we started off and now where are we in 2025. So we've said it from fields to freight because Goa actually started as not coming. So we started as an agrarian economy and our main crop was paddy. But before that, there is a mythological tale that it was Lord Parshuram's arrow which he shot in the sea, and then there emerged a landmass, and that landmass was called that time, of course, by various names. So it was Gomantak, Gopakapattam, Goapuri, and it had various ports, Chandrapur, Gopakapatta, Ella, and also the present-day Mormuga, which you all have visited. And over centuries, so there were different dynasties and different rulers, from the Chalukyas and Kadambas and everyone. And ever since times of yore, we have been, as Goa, our ports have served as hubs of international commerce and thriving coastal trade. And Goa had enjoyed commercial relations with ancient Egyptians, Phoenicians, Greeks, Jews, Arabs. We even dealt with a lot of spices, even Arab horses. So a lot of this trade was happening in Goa, along with it being an agrarian hub. Now, what happened, you all know that Goa was under the Portuguese rule for a long time, over 350 years. And when Afonso de Albuquerque took over Goa in 1510, it was renamed as Goa, and he called it Cidade de Goa, that is the city of Goa. Now we have a hotel which is Cidade de Goa, but that was how earlier Goa was known as. Then there was, India was ruled by the British. So we had various, so there were Dutch people ruling over parts of India, there were British, and there were Portuguese in Goa, Daman, Diu. So, but what happened between the British and the Portuguese, also there was a treaty which was called the Anglo-Portuguese Treaty of 1878. And it somehow subjected Goa to a dual rule, both of Portugal as well as of Britain. And this placed Goa's trade under British tariff control. So while Britain promised railway links, freer movement of people, it proved disastrous for Goa's economy. Why? Because the economy couldn't really take off and grow. So Goa lost its customs revenue. There were some, trade-offs between British and Portugal under the treaty, which was a major source of income. Local industries and agriculture could not compete with the British imports. Goa became more economically dependent on British for food and any goods. It was British India then. Now, paddy was the chief crop of Goa, but it wasn't producing sufficient quantities of other foodstuff and other items of daily consumption, and therefore Goa had to import a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of import happening between British India and Goa. Simultaneously, what was happening was that Goa was developing on another side, meaning there were educational institutions coming up, and especially in the northern part of Goa, socially there was a kind of, people were growing, people were getting more and more educated, so more and more informed. And then there was, of course, some kind of a business, but it was not enough. So this educated elite, which came about somewhere in the 19th century, they led to an increased interest in social as well as commercial activities. It was then that a gentleman called Louis Guillaume Dias, he called for a meeting of like-minded businessmen on the 7th of July 1907, and they decided to come together and form an association for business. And this association was called Associação Comercial da Índia Portuguesa. That were where the original Chamber of Commerce roots took place in Goa. And they decided that exports of local products should also be given some impetus, because we were continuously only importing stuff. So ever since its inception, the chamber has been very active and has played an important role in the development of the state. So we were actually, though the meeting took place in 1908, the chamber was formally established on the 3rd of September 1908, just a year after the meeting. Chamber played a number of positive development initiatives. In 1908, the chamber persuaded, that time it was called Associação, the government to initiate the construction of a new jetty near the dock of Nova Goa, that is Panjim, for the loading of cargo. It was at the Chamber's initiative that a banking house was started under the name of Banco da India Portuguesa in 1914. Then connecting Goa to the world. So all these things were happening as we were, combating, of course, with the Portuguese rule, etc. But economy was kind of taking shape, taking root with the association coming together. And in 1916, the chamber catalyzed a steamship service between Goa and Portugal to boost the trade between the two countries. In 1929, it persuaded the government to modernize and expand the dock facilities to keep pace with the traffic. Now there was a strange, we've heard of demonetization, right? Not a long time back. But there was a similar demonetization which took place in 1946, because I told you that a lot of business interaction would happen between Goa and British India, especially Bombay. So there are a lot of Goans even now, like in Bombay, who settled there. And what happened was then, because of some problem between the Portuguese and the Portuguese and the British rule at that time, they decided to demonetize the notes. And when the Reserve Bank of India demonetized 1,000 rupee notes, many Goans faced significant losses. So the president of Goa Chamber, he contacted the governor of RBI and the manager of Banco Nacional Ultramarino, the Bombay branch, to allow the exchange of 1,000 rupee notes from Goa, which were demonetized with the British government, and succeeded in exchanging almost around 3 lakh rupees of notes. And 3 lakh was a huge, huge amount then. So that was again, where the chamber intervened. Through strategic negotiations, the chamber managed this, and it showcased the chamber's commitment to protecting local financial interests. It became the voice of business. Then you come to India's independence. So while India got independence in 1947, Goa was still under Portuguese rule. And the economic sanctions were imposed by the government of India in 1954 on Portuguese-led Goa. Again, the association intervened and succeeded, and intervened with the local government here, because now we were dependent as Goa, we were dependent on a lot of stuff, I said, from Bombay and from India. So now that those sanctions were on, we as chamber succeeded in importing from various countries, for example, tea from Ceylon, coffee from Angola, from Japan, Hong Kong, various other countries. And this led to Goa becoming an import-based economy in the 20th century, with the chamber serving as a vital coordinator for this. So then we started, like I said, we were then heavily into imports. Still, of course, Goa started mining, and then we started becoming an exporter. On 19th December 1961, Goa was liberated. And to facilitate a smooth transition, the chamber, in the interest of local business, called upon the civil administrator and explained the new problems, because there was a new government now, new governance, problems related to imports, banking transactions, exports, other matters, everything pertaining to trade. And the chamber successfully persuaded the Reserve Bank of India to release frozen Goan funds, ensuring liquidity for local businesses and maintaining stability. Then, in April 1962, the members met at the General Assembly of the chamber and changed the name from Associação Comercial da Índia Portuguesa to the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, reflecting expanded scope and commitment to the industrial development along with traditional commerce. Now, GCCI, as you've seen, we've had an enduring impact. So right from 1907 to from when the idea was born to 1908 when it came into existence to 2025 now, our state has progressed. And how? We have a very, very well-networked railway line. We have a port which you visited. We, being a very, very small state, we have 2 airports within a very small radius. So these are a lot of pluses. Plus, of course, because we were into mining and exports through mining, which happened through the sea route. So our sea route is one of the best developed in the country. It's in Europe. I mean, you all must be studying as students of foreign trade, that Europe does use a lot of waterways. But in India, I think Goa is one of the first ones and major ones using water for business. So we stand today at a growth threshold of a new era with modern port facilities, logistics infrastructure enabling faster movement of goods. We are looking forward to increasing our cargo exports, ranging from pharmaceuticals, electronics, agro products, and we have a strategic coastal location. We are proud that the Goa Chamber of Commerce has catalyzed one of India's most remarkable economic transformations, shaping a predominantly agricultural territory into a global trading hub without losing our mainstream, that is our agriculture. And we have our Khazan lands, which as Chamber, that is another initiative, which we want to, so we want to retain our ethnicity, we want to retain Goa's authenticity and our culture and vibes. At the same time, keep pace with the moving times, and as you know, as exports, so we also are getting more and more into exports and facilitating that. So best wishes for your future learning, and best wishes for your trip, and enjoy yourselves in Goa. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Pallavi. Pallavi has taken us through the entire history since 117 years of Chamber and its contribution in international trade. But what is our present impact, and what is our contribution to today's international trade is what is our next session is about. Moving forward, an important aspect of this trade documentation and certification, we will have a, what we do here, the Chamber contributes in which way is what our next speaker is going to speak. And there are two key officers of the Chamber GCCI who do this work. I invite Ms. Sahita Naik, who is our information officer, and also Mr. Sanket Kaskar, who is our foreign trade officer, who handles the certification part. So what is this certification is they will go into detail, but just to give you a brief idea is when you export goods and they are entering into some other country, they require certain certification as to where it has originated from. This is what certificate of origin is. So I invite Ms. Sahita Naik and Sanket.
Good evening, everyone. My colleague, Mr. Sanket Kaskar, and me, Sahita Naik, we usually do the certificate of origin at the Chamber. So I'll give you a brief presentation on what certificate of origin is and what we exactly do at the Chamber. So basically, certificate of origin is basically a legal document that verifies from where the goods have been produced or from where it was manufactured when the goods are exported. So usually the exporters give certificate of origin to the customs department to wherever the goods are exported. Now basically the purpose of the certificate is for the custom officials to know from where the goods have been originated. And it also helps the custom to determine the correct import duty or of tariff rate to apply. Now, there are certain countries which are into various bilateral and multilateral trade agreements. So under that, sometimes some countries have reduced tariff or exemption on certain goods. So the purpose of CO is also to identify if such goods are originated from a country which has trade agreements to the countries the goods are exported to. And also the certificate of origin is also used to check for banned items and enforce trade restrictions under certain rules and regulations of the country where the goods are exported to. Now there are two types of certificates of origin. One is non-preferential and one is preferential. Now non-preferential is just certifies from where it originates and whether there are no tariff benefits for non-preferential certificate when it is issued. On the other hand, preferential certificates, these are issued under the free trade agreements between the two countries, and they actually, on the certificate, there is mentioned if the goods are to be used under reduced duties under the free trade agreement. Now, non-preferential CO, so the Chamber of Commerce under the DGFT can issue non-preferential certificates. So we issue non-preferential certificates, and it is just for general trade purposes. And this is used where there is no free trade agreement. On the other hand, preferential certificates are issued for specific trade agreements, and it helps exporters, importers avail lower custom duties. Now, preferential certificates are only issued by DGFT, and we don't have to do anything with the preferential certificates. Now, the process of obtaining non-preferential certificates, now DGFT has a portal, okay, that is if you log on to trade.dgft, so there is a portal where the exporters can register themselves. So what they do is once the exporters register themselves, they submit an application. On the portal, when you log in, the exporters will get all the details where they have to fill regarding the products, from where it has originated to where you are exporting. All those details are to be filled first. And then you have to apply supporting documents. One is the commercial invoice, the invoice for the goods that are being exported, packing list of the goods, proof of shipment or the BL copy, bill of lading copy. And in case if the exporters doesn't have a bill of lading copy, they have to give us a declaration saying that, you know, these are the goods that have been exported, okay, on this date, and to issue the certificate of origin. Once this everything is done, the process is to pay the application fees, and then they send it to us. So once the certificate comes to us, we check if all the documents are proper, if everything in the certificate is mentioned according to the commercial invoice, packing list, and the BL copy. And once everything matches, okay, we approve the certificate and the exporter gets the certificate. In case if there is any issue or we find if there is any error in the certificate, we mark it deficient and we send it back to the exporters to correct it and send it back to us so that we can issue the correct certificate. So that is what we do basically. Thank you.
Thank you, Sahita. So this was the part where chamber comes into picture in issuance of COs, and we are authorized by DGFT. Now we will see the other side of where the members of the industry applies for the COs. So before I have to invite Mr. Bikesh Singh, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker today's. Mr. Bikesh Singh is an industry professional with over 16 years of experience in international trade, logistics, and compliance. He will share his perspective on practical aspects of international trade. He is currently serving as an assistant manager of logistics at Syntagon Technology India Private Limited, which is a global leader in packaging solutions for FMCG and healthcare industries. In his career, he has worked in leading organizations such as Mahindra, Honeywell, JP Morgan, etc., and gaining a wide expertise in custom regulations, international trade compliance, freight management, and global logistics operations. His rich industry experience will help us understand these aspects of the logistics and trade compliance, all the documentation part. So we look forward to it, and I now invite Mr. Singh to please come on the stage for the presentation.
Good afternoon, IIFT Delhi. We welcome you to Goa Chamber of Commerce. My name is Bikesh Singh. I work for Syntagon Technology India Private Limited, and we have a very good professional relationship with Goa Chamber of Commerce. So I'll not take much of your time and briefly explain you what is import, what are its compliance through my slides. These are the agenda. So first I will introduce you what is import and export. Then I will explain you what is HSN, Harmonized Tariff Schedule, various agencies involved in EXIM, international trade documents, and Trump 2.0 trade and tariff. So what is import? Import means, this is the dictionary meaning of import. It means bringing goods and services into India from a place outside India. So whenever we import, we have to pay import duty to the government. And whenever we do export, government pay us some incentives like road tape drawback. For example, if you are exporting a product of rupees 1,000, the government pays you 1.5% as drawback and 1% as road tape. So as you know that, import is not good for the economy, but export is. Why? Because, if you are exporting more, you are bringing foreign currency into our economy, and vice versa with the imports. And who control import-export in India? No. It's central government. Central government make rules and the customs regulates it. And why they do that? Because of all these reasons. Prevention of serious injury to domestic production of goods. For example, in India, we have lot of manufacturers who produces Ganesh statue at the time of Diwali at rupees 100. So what China does, he manufacture bulk quantity of Ganesh Lakshmi statues. For example, you may say at 60 rupees and try to dominate India domestic market. So here customs knows everything, what is the domestic rates and how much rate the China is exporting to India. So there what Indian custom will do, they will add anti-dumping duty, countervailing duty. So the price of both Indian goods and the imported goods will be same. Protection of patent, trademark, copyrights. See, you can understand it with an example, Puma shoes. Puma shoe is a branded one. It starts from more than 2,000 rupees. And some manufacturer, what they do, they copy their style and quality. So that doesn't make that that less qualitative of, as a Puma shoe. So in order to protect patent, trademarks, copyright of a company, customs do that. To prevent smuggling. Smuggling means if you are doing import-export other than customs area, it is not allowed. You are avoiding import duty. So in that scenario, central government will punish you. To prevent shortage of any good. For example, basmati rice. So right now, you cannot do export of basmati rice. As I mentioned you earlier, if you do export, government will pay you incentives. But it's not case of basmati rice because the quantity we produced in India is not sufficient to fulfill our own demand. So we cannot export basmati rice. If you are try to do it, you have to pay 1,000 USD as an import duty per quintal. To conservation of foreign exchange and the safeguard of the balance of payment. Foreign exchange, sometimes what people do, they carry lot of money with themselves. So the customs says that you cannot carry money. If you have to transfer money to abroad or bring it to India, you have to go through the banking channel. So, this is how the central government protect our interest. To protect the life of plant and animal. We cannot import or export until unless you have a license to import, export plant and animal from and to India. These are the industries I have worked for. I have worked in automobile. Currently, I am in packaging industry. I have worked in garment and FMCG goods. So now we'll understand HSN. What is HSN? You guys know? Yes, you know, no? So it is an 8-digit number. It explains everything about the product. So many importer, exporter, what they do, they manipulate good descriptions. So the customs has decided that, HSN, mentioning HSN is a mandatory. And if you know the right HSN code for of your product, then it's very easy to identify what are the compliance you have to follow. And HSN is a global thing. So every country follow this HSN rule of WCO, World Customs Organization. And if you know your HSN code, it is very easy to calculate import duty and the applicable GST. So this is the website, cbic.gov. You go there and you will get the current import and GST rates, everything there. Now we'll discuss what are the agency involved in export. In import-export, a lot of agencies are involved. For example, banks. Banks plays a very important role in import and export. For example, in future, if you become an entrepreneur or a manufacturer and you start manufacturing a pen, you give your advertisement of your pen in India Mart or Amazon, and if you get an offer of selling 1 lakh of pen, 1 lakh pieces of pen, that's a very big order. But what will happen if you ship the product and didn't get paid? So bank plays a very important role here. So we have a letter of credit. So if you are doing a business with letter of credit, it's very much secure. Banks make sure that after you made the shipment, you will get the payment. And bank also ensure the buyer that if you pay, then you should receive the goods. So banks play a very important role. Then we have customs. Concor. Concor is a public undertaking company. They take care of containers. Then we have ICD. ICD is Inland Container Depot. It is a dry port. So, see, custom is present where we have seaports, correct? But what happened to the manufacturers or importers who are there in a landlocked country? So there we have ICD. So what they do, you can import the goods till Navaseva seaport, and from there you can carry the goods to the ICD, and there you can do custom clearance. Port, seaport, airports. Then shipping line, airlines. We have so many shipping lines called Maersk, CMS, EGM, One Line, OOCL. These are the shipping lines which carry container from one country to another. And we have many airlines as well, Emirates, Qatar. Then the next agency is ECGC. This is Export Council, Export Credit Guarantee Council. So what they do, they give working capital for your, they give money for your working capital. Then we have EPC. EPC is an Export Promotion Council. When you start working or when you start running an organization, then you have to register with Export Promotion Council. They will help you to grow your business. Once you are registered with EPC, then your name, your company name, then the product, everything will be displayed in EPC website. And if any foreign customer, they want to buy your product, they can contact you through their website. Then we have DGFT. DGFT is a portal of the customs. And what they do, they provide license to your business. Then we have GST Council. This is a different council. Yes. International trade documents. So documents are divided into two parts, commercial and regulatory. What is commercial document? Commercial documents are those documents which are primarily engaged between the buyer and seller for commercial transaction. Regulatory documents are those documents which are exchanged between the buyer, importer and exporter, and between the importer, exporter and government agencies. There are some examples of commercial documents like commercial invoice, packing list, country of origin, bill of lading, insurance certificate, inspection certificate. And there are some regulatory documents like shipping bill. Shipping bill is a proof of export. When you send the goods to the customs, you have to file shipping bill for the custom clearance. And once the custom clearance is done, then the shipping line or the airline has the permission to take out the goods out of India. Then what is bill of entry? Bill of entry is we file document with the customs whenever we import something. So that is called bill of entry. That is a proof that you have imported those materials. Then tax invoice, EBRC. So this is how the commercial invoice look. This is our company Centagon invoice. We are selling it to the Aditya Birla. Oh, it's too small. Okay. So this is how the commercial invoice look, and this is HSN code. So it is very important to mention HSN code in invoice. Why? Because some importer exporter, what they do, they mention good description as boomer, but they will not mention chewing gum. So it gives the customs get confused with the good description. So they want HSN code should be there. So HSN code is mentioned. For our machine, it's 8422 3000. This is how the packing list looks. So this particular packing list have 3 packages: gross weight, net weight, dimensions, everything is mentioned. This is a country of origin. Oh, hazy. Okay. So this is a country of origin certificate. It contains all the information of your invoice, good description, pieces, everything. Then we have bill of lading. Bill of lading comes in a picture when you are sending your goods through container, through ocean. Then next we have airway bill. When we send our consignment through air, through airlines, then we get airway bill. These are the international commercial documents. Then we have insurance certificate. Whenever we send something, it is better to get it insured. Many a times, in my past experience, what happened is that our goods, which is going through USA, the ship got fire and it sunk down. So at that time we thought that we have fully lost our goods, but we got saved because we had insurance. We completely got the money back from the insurance company. So if you are doing business, better you do insurance for all your goods. Yes. So nowadays custom is not the same custom what it was 20 years ago. Now everything is online, everything. See, even if you go custom area, the whole custom area is under CCTV surveillance. You cannot bribe anyone and nobody can cheat you there from the custom point of view. So custom is doing very good job, and if you have any problem related to the customs, you tell your problem to the customs, they will definitely help you out. So India is not that, what it was 20 years, 30 years back. And in international import-export, documents should be perfect and should be compliant. If you need that your good pass through the customs fastly and you should get the payment on time, then perfect and correct document is very important. Now we'll discuss about Trump 2.0. So US is dominating the import-export of the world. So it is better to keep an eye on US. So Donald Trump, when in first terms he was very good with India. India has signed many agreements with Trump, and you can say that India-US relations was at peak during his first terms. And when the Donald Trump came in power for the second term, we were expecting the same, but he's completely changed. Donald Trump, in morning he gave one statement and suddenly take U-turns in evening. So this is how he is behaving nowadays. And Trump, he started threatening every country from the month of February. I'm talking about the reciprocal tariffs. Many countries approached him to get a trade deal with the US, but he was negotiating very hard, Donald Trump. And Japan, Thailand, Vietnam, they made a free trade agreement with the US, but it was not good. US was gaining too much, not these developing countries. So during last month, US was very frustrated with the India foreign policy that we are buying Russian oils and imposed a import duty of 50% to India, an additional 10%. So currently, if we do export to the US, we have to pay 60% tariff, and it is implemented from 27th August. So this is a chart which US is importing from the whole of the world. From India, we are exporting 91.23 of USD billion to USA. And because of this tariff, the expert was telling that our export to US will decline to $50 billion. And still, Donald Trump is threatening India for the service sector. And if he imposed fine on service sector, then certainly this value will reduce furthermore. That's it. So if you have any questions regarding import, export, you can contact me through this email ID. And I also suggest you to, if you have decided that you want to make your career in import and export, I suggest you to do trade finance as well as CBLR exam. Please try to attend these two, because these two will make your career very strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singh, for this valuable session. Now, to formally express our gratitude, I invite Dr. Rai to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. So, okay, great. So, I sincerely express my thanks to Goa Chamber of Commerce and its officials for accommodating us here in Goa Chamber of Commerce facility, and to enlighten our students with the current trade, geopolitics, and how it is happening and how they are actually dealing with it in Goa. So these are the turbulent times, but we are sure that as they have faced lots of challenges, as we saw in the presentation, so they have managed like dual colonial system. They manage Portuguese, they manage English people, then they manage the conflict between Portuguese Goa and then Indian government, and then after that they are managing current trade also. So we can say that okay, they will be able to instill that faith among the traders in the local one community. So we can be sure about that. So yeah, and this visit is important because IIFT has had a rich history of like 63 years of history of teaching, training, and doing research in the area of international trade. And we have been offering regular courses, out of which these gentlemen, they will be industry ready, and next year they will be going and making decisions in different organizations. Apart from that, we have been offering programs for industry professionals. We are having lots of certificate programs, some customized programs for industry people. So we have been doing our best, what we can offer to the society and to the industry. But still, apart from the theoretical knowledge that we provide in our college, so it is very important that we give them some practical exposure, and for this we have planned this, every year we are planning this port visit, so in which they are visiting port authority, customs facilities, looking at the container depots, so and customs operations, how documentation is done practically. But the visit will not be complete if we are not meeting local local business community, and for that we must visit the Chamber of Commerce, and for which for this opportunity we are actually sincerely thankful to Goa Chamber of Commerce, and we express our gratitude to Mr. Kiran Balikar and Ms. Pallavi Arnondekar, directors of GCCI. So thank you, sir, and thank you, madam. thank you for this gentleman, because of his efforts, this visit was possible. And madam, thank you for letting us know the rich history of Goa, trade in Goa and Chamber of Commerce. Then I also express my sincere thanks to Deputy Director Ms. Ambika and Mr. I offer my thanks to Ms. Sanghita Naik for letting us know how practically a certificate of origin is issued and what are the different technical complexities which are associated with that. And thank you, Mr. Vikas, for letting our students know about practical aspects of international trade. So, I will also like to express my gratitude to everyone, every member of Goa Chamber of Commerce who is not physically present here, but their efforts have been made in order to make our visit successful. So, yeah, so I thank everyone, and I would also like to I will request this gentleman, our student coordinator. So we have brought like small tokens of appreciation for our directors. So I would like our students to present them. So please, one more student, please will come along with him. All right, you also come and just please. आप अपने हाथों से लेके बता रहे हैं। प्लीज यू आल्सो कम। अभी आइए।
We would also like to thank Dr. Rai for coming here and thank him with a small token from our side. This gives the history of chamber. So with this we conclude today's session, and on behalf of GCCI, we wish the IIFT students all the very best in their careers and look forward to seeing many of you contribute to India's trade and business landscape in years to come. Thank you all for your participation. GCCI staff, I thank you all in person behind the scene, Mr. Sanket, Chetan, Melanie, Seema, everyone. And also our PBN Media Network. We wish you a pleasant continuation for your Goa visit. And before you leave, we would like to have one photograph, a group photograph of you all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Apu Shadula. I'm a student from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, and I'm very honored to be here today at GCCI because it's something that we have been learning about in our classrooms, specifically about how documentation is done. I would also would like to thank all the esteemed speakers who have been present here today to impart very valuable practical knowledge about the everyday to do things that they do when it comes to commerce in respect to the trading that happens in Goa. We're also very thankful for our institution for providing this opportunity to come here and to interact with industry seniors so that we can implement such knowledge in our day-to-day lives in the future. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Shalmali Dasgupta. I'm also a student from the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. So we are here for a visit as a part of a port visit, which is a part of our course. So we are very grateful and thankful to GCCI for having us. And it was a pleasure to be here and get a understanding of the practical implications of what we have been studying inside our classrooms. We are grateful for all the speakers who took out their time to tell us about how all of the documents and everything is done in order to have the export and import process done so smoothly. So we got an insight into what actually happens in the practical world other than what we study in the classroom. So it was very insightful, and I'm also thankful for my institute who took the liberty of bringing us here and arranging this for us so that we learn and understand what is actually happening in the outside world. Thank you.
Good evening everyone, I'm Gaurav Kumar. I'm a student at IIFT Delhi. So I'm deeply honored to be here and the Goa Chamber of Commerce. So as part of our port visit, we have come here to know more about trade operations and how things are conducted in Goa. So I am deeply honored to be here, and I express my sincere gratitude to all the speakers here, the directors of GCCI, the assistant director ma'am, and the industry leaders that have been interacting with us. So overall it was a very interactive session, and we got to know a lot of new things. So and it makes more sense for us being foreign trade students that we need to know how things are actually happening and how India as a nation is benefiting from trade from Goa. So yeah, I mean, it was a very insightful experience for us, and I sincerely express my gratitude to everybody present here. Thank you.
So I'm Satya Saran. I am a part of the MBA cohort of IIFT Delhi. I have come here as a part of my port visit, and it was a really insightful session that we had at the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry. From the history of Goa, how it became a trade center, to the, let's say, ongoing today's happenings, today's functionings of the entire chamber and the trade center of Goa itself. It was a really insightful session. Apart from that, we also learned about how the chamber is promoting trade not only in Goa but throughout the regions that are in and across Goa. And so yes, it was a really insightful session.
Hello, I'm Harshit Goswami from the BA 26 batch and from IIFT Delhi. Actually, for business analytics groups, this is very nice session, and it teaches us the main aspects of trade, how the exports happen via Goa, and especially what are the certifications we need, what certificate of origin and all the different certifications that we need to pass in order to export to another country and import also. So thank you.
आज गोवा चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्स अँड इंडस्ट्री आणि स्पेशल हांकां इनवायट केल्ले IIFTची स्टुडंट्सांक इंडियन इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड जवळ जवळ तांचे 44 भुरगे आनी प्रोफेसर हांगा आयिल्ले आयच्या दिसाक टू लर्न अबावट गोवन ट्रेड. म्हणजे तांकां आमी आयडिया दिता आसतना आमची जेन्ना GCCI इस्टाब्लीश जाली सिन्स 1908 एक्चुअली तांची आमची हिस्ट्री जाल्यार पळयली गोवा चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्स अँड इंडस्ट्री इस्टाब्लीश इटसेल्फ जाल्ली फॉर ट्रेड रिजन. म्हणजे पोर्तुगीज जेन्ना हांगा आमचे रूल करताले त्या वेळार हांगचे ट्रेडर आसले तांकां जे डिफिकल्टी फेस जाताल्यो त्यो ओवरकम करपा लागून थोडे लोक एकटेन आयले आनी तांणी एक असोसिएशन केलें. तशें करून हे गोवा चेंबराचे सुरवात जाल्ली. ताजे नंतर जेन्ना आमकां फ्रिडम मेळ्ळें आनी ताजे नंतर इंडियेक फ्रिडम मेळ्ळें त्या वेळार सुद्दां आमचे हांगा पोर्तुगीज आमचे राज्य करताले. त्या वेळार 2 डिफरंट कंट्री जाल्ल्यान एक आमकां त्या वेळार सुद्दां हांगा गोंयच्या ट्रेडरांक डिफिकल्टी जाताल्यो आनी हाव दीज डिफिकल्टीज वेर ओवरकम बाय GCCI हांची आयडिया आमी आज तांकां दिली. त्या शिवाय त्या लोकांनी आमचे गोंयचे भितर जी पोर्ट फॅसिलिटी आसा MPA थंय विजीट केली, ताजे बद्दल केलें. आमी GCCI हांगा सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ ओरिजीन इशू करतात तो प्रोसेस कसो हो आमच्या कन्सर्न ऑफिसरांनी तांकां एक्सप्लेन केलें. त्या शिवाय आमची पास्ट हिस्ट्री म्हणजे आमी हांगा मायनींग पयलीं कशें आशिल्लें कशें चलतालें हाजीय म्हायती आमच्या आज ऑफिसरान दिली. त्यामुळे ह्या भुरग्यांक गोंयचे बद्दल खूब नॉलेज मेळ्ळी अशें आमी एक्सपेक्ट करतात. तशेंच त्या साठी तांकां आज आपयल्लें. तांची रिएक्शना वेल्यान तुमकां कळ्ळें आसतलें की तांची विजीट ही खूब फ्रुटफूल जाली. तांणीच तांच्या शब्दांनी सांगलें. आमी त्या शिवाय तांकां प्रॅक्टिकल एस्पेक्ट मेळपा जाय म्हणून हांगा गोवा चेंबर आमची मेंबर एक आशिल्ली कंपनी सिंटेगॉन म्हणून सिंटेगॉन इंडिया प्रायवेट लिमिटेड जे एक्सपोर्ट करता टू वेरियस कंट्रीज देर प्रॉडक्ट तांचो ऑफिसर हांगा आपयलो आनी प्रॅक्टिकल एस्पेक्टाची तांकां म्हायती दिली. सो आमी त्या लोकांक गोंयचे बद्दल माहिती त्या शिवाय गोंया साकून कितें पळय एक्सपोर्ट जाता हाजे बद्दल माहिती पुराय तांकां दिली आनी दे आर वेरी मच सॅटिस्फायड विथ आवर arrangements made here. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I am Ambika Dhakankar, Deputy Director in Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Today we had a very important session on practical aspects of international trade documentation and issues which happen. So we had 50 students from IIFT, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, who came all over from Delhi and Kolkata to visit Goa on a trade visit, wherein they even visited Mormugao port, and then they have come to GCCI to learn the documentation part and practical aspects in it. We are thankful that they had a very valuable session here and they got so much knowledge. We also gave them a brief on details into what chamber contributes, like issuance of certificate of origin, which is a very important aspect in export documentation. Also we had a speaker from our member Syntagon Technologies, who gave there is expert view on what is the back end which is happening today. The certificate procedure is entirely online, and it's totally hassle free. There is no it's totally paperless. We have thanks to DGFT, Directorate General of Foreign Trade, who has done the entire procedure online today, and you do not need to visit Chamber of Commerce for the certification. So we thank these students and the professor Dr. Rai, who came with them over here. GCCI will always support any such kind of initiatives from any institute, being a torch bearer in education and knowledge.
So today we had a visit by 40 students from the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, and I congratulate that institute for bringing them to the Chamber of Commerce, because along with studying, it's very important to understand the practical aspects and how things actually work. So we also had the good fortune of interacting with these youngsters. It was wonderful. And as Chamber of Commerce, we have a long history of 117 years, and it's very important that this history of our economics also of Goa is also communicated to various audiences from time to time. So today it was a pleasure to interact with the students and let them know how Goa started off as an agrarian economy, and it was always a renowned entrepot of trading, and then how we have evolved over the years until to now, when we are having a great logistics policy. We are having 2 airports, and we are having a great connectivity with the rail and port network and everything. How Goa looks forward to having an even better future. Of course, with the tariffs now on the entire country, there are bottlenecks, and the students also, when we asked them in the interaction, they did come out and they expressed their fears, their apprehensions, their looking forward to moments also in India as well as in Goa. And it was nice to know that they enjoyed learning and interacting, because when students come forth and come forward and ask questions and inquire, it is then that we also get the pleasure of telling them about so many things. So the benefit is from both sides, and I wish the students all the best. Thank you.